Welcome to the Heart-Centered Entrepreneur Podcast. I want you to be rich. Yes, I want abundant financial success for your business. But I don't just care about your business making money. I care about you too. I want you to be rich in happiness, in the impact you make, in your relationships, and in how you give back. I'm Anna. I built my six-figure business as a side hustle while I was pregnant with my daughter in 2016. Now I've helped dozens of women do the same. I'm here to help you build a profitable, heart-centered, fully booked business with the latest tips on sales and visibility, with proven mindset hacks, and sneak peeks behind the scenes with what's working right now in the online space and in my business. Ready to make more money with heart? Let's go. Buckle your seatbelt because you are going to be so inspired by Megan's beautiful story and her courage as she scaled her business and really talks about what it takes to go from one-on-one income to group income. Her goal was to sign 8 to 10 clients. She ended up signing 19 clients just with the group, not counting the coaching offer that she created. She was doing one-on-one therapy income before. And so you're just going to love all that she has to unpack and share, and just so excited for you to dive in. If you want to learn more about the method that she used to launch her program, you're going to love my free 20-minute workshop, Get Your Next 5 Paying Clients with One Simple Strategy. And I really outline the exact strategy, hold no secrets back when it comes to the exact strategy that Megan used. It's also the same strategy I use to grow my business. So whether you are looking to sign your next one-on-one coaching clients for the first time or grow and sign group coaching clients, you're going to love this free workshop that I recorded for you. Also, when you listen to the workshop, I have a worksheet that you fill out. And if you send it to me, I give you feedback absolutely for free and give you $3 coffee money so that you can take action on what you learned in those 20 minutes, my love. Okay. I will put the link to that, but I'm so excited to share with you Megan's story. Also, check out the show notes for links to her Instagram if you want to learn more about her work and the amazing impact she has with her clients on healing their childhood trauma and helping them thrive in their life. Let's go. Hi, friends. I am so excited for our chat today and to welcome Megan Walsh, holistic trauma therapist and coach, and just extraordinarily kind human. Welcome, Megan.
Oh, Anna, thank you. It is so lovely to be here with you, fellow kind human.
So we are here for many things, but to mostly just celebrate and take a moment to reflect on a beautiful, brave era that you had of launching a beautiful new course and program on top of being mama, being wife, having one-on-one client. Like, you did an amazing thing. As we open up, like, what are your thoughts?
Well, first, I just want to thank you. I am just so grateful for your support in this because, I started Sell with Heart with you in January, and it is June. And in January, like, you've seen me go, like, literally in the 6 months, you've watched me go through, like, quite a few iterations of what I wanted this program to be. And so, like, I think I say this all because I'm a little, like, mind blown at, like, where things stand right now. I'm so grateful and so excited. And most of all, like, I feel so just, like, really, really in my heart, so grateful that it's what I'm doing right now is so in alignment with what drives my passion and how I want to support people. And it's so in alignment with what I was already doing. And you just really helped me to kind of shape it and put it into this new form. Because as a trauma therapist who works to support people who are, learning and navigating, how to reconnect to themselves after going through various traumas in childhood and otherwise, I'm just really, really glad that is the same client that I'm supporting in these programs and in this program that I launched. Because I think at first I thought it had to be different. Like, it had to, as a therapist, right? Of course, there's that ethical barrier that feels like, oh, I can't market to the same client, but I could, right? And, like, it was really, really helpful to be able to talk that through with you in the mastermind and understand that actually I can do it this way, and I can do it in a very clear, ethical way that is just really in alignment with me. And so I'm just really, really grateful for that and so excited. We're on week 3 of this program and it's going so well. So
I love that. Yes. Full circle moment of having launched it, having been through the program, right?
yeah.
I love that you mentioned too, like the start of your journey, because I think so often like we see people's shiny success stories, but don't really see the behind the scenes of like, no, there were some weeks of like figuring out, and especially like as a therapist, really wrestling through the legalities and the ethics and the all of that makes scaling, I think, a little bit more complex. Like maybe take us back to month 1 and or when you were more in the swirl of like, what should I message? How should I, niche the group?
I think initially I thought, oh, I can't message to my same clients because it's going to be confusing and it's going to be just not clear. So I have to do it to like just to someone who's not them. And I think the fact that like it just never felt right. It never felt aligned. It like I wasn't excited. I wasn't excited to create content around it. Like I felt like, oh, I kind of want to hide this. And I knew that anytime I had that sort of feeling, like that wasn't it. And it was truly like it was the mastermind women that inspired me to do this, because I was like, hey, I'm thinking this. I'm thinking like of creating a group to help support women to find to kind of really understand themselves more deeply and build that sense of inner confidence that isn't there or isn't as strong as they would like it to be in the moment. And so much of that the process of building that is the work that I do, right? It's the work that I do of going backwards to understand oneself and what one needs in order to move ahead with more confidence and grounding and self-assurance. And truly, like there was one mastermind call where the ladies were all like, yeah, this sounds great. Like I would do this. This is exciting to me. And it was through seeing their excitement that made me feel like, oh, okay, then this is super possible. Like I can absolutely do this. And after like, once I started to create it, like what also made me feel really grateful was that I had talked to the women and invited anybody who wanted to join to go through this program, because I already knew that it's something that excited them. And then that made me feel really confident to continue to market it at a time when I didn't think, like, I was like, I don't think I'm going to actually get like paying people to go through it. And so it just being in this space gave me so much, it gave me the confidence to be able to sell this program all about supporting women to find their confidence.
I love that. And I agree. Like, I really feel like the mastermind wrapped around you and rallied around you. But I will say it was really your willingness to be vulnerable, right? To ask, to say like, well, would anyone do this with me? Or even when you were trying like different visibility, right? Like, trying some reels for a different niche, right? Or like, I think that's what we don't see is like the quote failures or like the mess or the like, putting yourself out there, right? That really is behind every single successful entrepreneur I see, which is like the times of being willing for it to be uncertain, for it to be like, I don't know if anyone is going to buy this program. I'm going to make the sales page, but I don't even know if it's going to be worth it, right?
Right. Absolutely. Totally. And it's like that trust that, okay, like I'm going to do this because I believe in this bigger picture, which is something that's so great that you do, is helping us to always like be in touch with that bigger picture and like stay connected to it and don't lose sight of it, because that is the path that we are walking down. And so it has been so beautiful for me to be more intentionally connected to that and to trust it and to know that like, okay, even at those moments where I was like, I don't think this is actually going to turn into anything, trusting that like you had my back, the group had my back. And that with that, like it already was further than I think even my own doubts thought it would be. So like that was just so, so helpful in this process.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, walk us through a little bit of launching the group, because I think group programs, courses are an amazing asset to any business. However, I think the online marketing space does a disservice, and that it doesn't tell women that your first launch is challenging. I think it's worth it, right? But you're creating the marketing curriculum, right? You're creating your course content. You're on top of your normal life. Your normal business, right? And so maybe walk us through, but by all the definitions, like it was a smashing success. So maybe talk us through your launch.
Sure. So The launch, I mean, this is good that we're reflecting on it because in my mind, it feels very messy. It feels like it's hard to even like go back through of like, what was the step by step? Honestly, like, and I think I told you this in a meeting once. I'm like, I'm just going to be going like literally, I'm going to create what I have to send the day before or a day of. Honestly, that's kind of how I have to operate right now because I have a full-time therapy practice on top of an 18-month-old, on top of then building this at the same time. So I was giving myself permission that like I was trying to batch ahead and I was like, yep, nope, can't do it. So yeah, so I was honestly going one day at a time. Like I had the vision of like, okay, we're building up to this, but yeah, I was building as I went. And like in the middle of the launch, as I was launching the scholarship, I had a reel go very viral, which really like brought in a whole new set of eyes. Which, again, like, and I've been consistently posting on Instagram for years. And this one kind of just what like hit a nerve, especially with a lot of people. And what's beautiful is that it brought in so many more of the ideal client that I finally had settled on. Like I get to working with, right? For like who I was building this program for. So many more of eyes entered my community and my space, which was just such a gift at this moment in time. And then to have already like I was in process of saying here, right? Like, you can apply for the scholarship. And whoa, I think in the end, close to about 130 people apply for the scholarship, which was incredible. And so beautiful. And so many of them commented, like, I love that you're offering this. This is so great. And I love that in their entrance into my community space was that, right? That they could see that I wanted to give, right? Give to them. And so I thank you for that beautiful, right? For the Get and Coach framework, to implement that, because that actually was, I think, such a key factor. And honestly is what like carried my launch, to be honest, because,
Yes.
because that was in place. And then I got to have some really beautiful conversations with so many incredible women. Like, honestly, that it was just only natural that that process filled my group more than I had ever even anticipated. And so the fact that that was in place and that like set things up, it gave me permission to like feel like it's okay if I don't have the perfect amount of emails or the perfect amount of posts or this or that. It helped to even like that process helped to even further clarify how I wanted the program to run, and how I wanted to build the course material because I am, I'm building it right in doing like a few weeks ahead of time. And so it's been just, all of it has been so helpful of like a great lesson in that it's not going to be perfect before it runs, like of just like trusting that like, I got it, I can do it, I can build it. And I just love that, like just this full community of especially women who are wanting the kind of support that I am so excited and eager to teach and to give. So it was a wild ride, this launch. But again, what carried me through was the structure of this framework, like without a doubt.
I love that so much. Especially like the first one is always a wild ride, right? It reminds me of like motherhood, right? Your first child, no matter what, it's always going to be a wild ride. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't do it. Being a mom is my favorite thing on the planet, but also the first 18 months, like wild ride, right?
Yeah. Whew.
What was I going to say? I love what you said about you had the bare minimums done, right? You had your beautiful sales page. You had your course announcement post, right? You had what you needed done, but then you put most of your energy not on like perfect content or like you put most of it on connection. And at the end of the day, that's what makes launches convert anyway, is the connection. Maybe at the start of a first launch, like you did, you're doing a lot of calls and you're really hearing the objections and converting that way, right? Maybe in future launches, you're still doing some calls, but maybe it's other forms of connection, right? But no matter what, I think no matter if it's a $10,000 launch or a, $50,000 launch, I think the women I see succeed the most are willing to have those connection points.
Yeah.
How did you make margin to launch and connect on top of everything?
It was a lot. I mean, I was working a lot and I had to have a lot of conversations with my husband, especially. He's like, you're working like 24 hours a day. Like, this is not Good for you. And I'm like, I agree. I know. And I know that like right now I'm investing this time for right the future payoff of less time. And so I mean, I invested in extra childcare because typically, right, I'd have my son for the mornings and see clients in the afternoon, but I invested in more childcare so that I would have that time and space to just to navigate everything. And I asked for help, right? I did everything that like I preach of like, I need more help, I need more support, and I have to, right, I have to get it. Like I need that investment in me right now because I continue to trust this is going to continue to build and to grow. And so whereas before this, I may have been like, oh, I shouldn't spend on the extra childcare. I shouldn't do this. I should be a bit more cautious. I very much was like, nope, I'm all in. Like I am I am giving myself that time and space to make this happen. And that is honestly how it has worked, is really allowing myself to ask and to receive more the additional time that I needed. Cause I had to, right?
Yeah.
There was nowhere else to give. And I need to sleep. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. You need to sleep. I love that so much. Just really embracing and getting more support, even from hubby, like having that conversation and being like, okay, it's going to be a little bit more right now as I'm like working on this project, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Going to be more. And his counter is like, but it's probably always going to be more, isn't it? I'm like, no, because if I stay committed, right? Like I'm honestly like that is part of this is in the growing. Like the intention is that I have to do it right with the right supports and in a way that does decrease, right, the amount of hours that I spend, right? Because if my whole job has been client facing by the hour up until this point, like it's going to be a lot more right now while it's all happening at the same time. But ideally, right, it's going to slim down to less.
Absolutely. Right. I love that. Like keeping the goal in mind and being like, okay, now that I've built this, now how do I let myself enjoy that? How do I leverage this? How do we be intentional about letting that income stream build and
Mhm.
releasing that other income stream? Right.
Yeah, yeah,
I
absolutely.
love that. Talk to me about what in the past 3 weeks, what has been your favorite thing about having your wish and having a group of amazing people?
Ah, it is. It's so great. I mean, like it's incredible that they're right. It's real. They're here. Honestly, our first group call, I was really nervous for it because I've been so used to like obviously as a therapist, like holding space for a lot of people. But this program has been my brainchild. And of course, I want it to right to be the right kind of support. And of course I want it to be a safe container for support. Like as a therapist, that is the most important piece for me, especially in selling this program. Like I want it to be a genuine, right, transformative experience in a safe way because when we're talking about trauma, like it's a lot. And so after that first group, I was like, okay, this is right. It's right. This is going to be a really important, supportive structure and container for these women. Like I can see it already, like just by being here together, and being able to talk about these things that are coming up in ways that some have not been able to express before. So powerful. So that just really made me like just really feel so grounded into the program itself and has made me like really, really excited as I continue to build it. And of course, even like visualizing what it's going to look like in the next round and how I can continue to deepen the process.
Ah, I love that so much. They are so lucky to have you, Megan.
Thank
Tell
you.
me what was your goal in filling the program and what did you end up with?
My goal was to have like 8 to 10 participants. That was going to be like more than enough for me. And honestly, right now, I believe I have 19 women part of the program. So
So
yeah.
amazing. What I feel like people hearing that may have just done one-on-one work before, maybe like,
Mhm.
how do you even handle a group of like 19 or 18? Or like,
Mhm.
how has it been on the other side of having a group container?
Yeah, I think this is the biggest learning curve for me is because I'm so used to like wanting to give like such deep, like one-to-one support. This is this has been, a learning curve of understanding the boundaries of what my offering is in this space and making that very clear. And honestly, like how you run Sell with Heart has been the model for how I do that. And so much of it is having to create, strong boundaries and trust that allow the group members to show up to the group themselves and to not feel like that I have to, right? I have to carry everyone, but that I have to trust that they're here, then they're going to do the work that I've laid out for them.
Yeah.
They're going to participate in the modules and do the prompts and then join us in the group space. Like I've created the container and the structure in every way. And then it's up to them to do the work, and to move through it and experience it. So that is one that I have to continually remind myself, how to hold. And then I think what is so great is that I know that they know that I'm here, and I've made it very clear, right? I'm here for you in this space, where the group is held in a circle community. And so in that space, right, there's different forums to chat, to connect, to reflect, and I am there as well. And in this group space, I have everybody that signed up with a special bonus where they get a one-to-one call with me. So that's another way that I think it's going to help me feel really, really connected, to each person individually, and check in and see if there's anything they're needing more, in the process. And I've made it very clear to everyone that this is our first round. And so I'm so open to any feedback of what's working, what's not working. And I think giving myself that permission, like to show up imperfectly and to tell everyone, right, I'm building this in the way that I envision, I think will be the most helpful. And you are an equal part of that process. So I want their input and their feedback as well.
I love that so much. I think it's there is something about the first round that's such an amazing collaborative experience. And I think, before we do something like launch a group program, we want to have it all perfectly prepared. But what I hear you saying here is like, you really did your launch in real time. You're really creating the program in real time. And like, I was so hesitant to do that, but I do think programs are better. Eventually, we want to have like systems and structure and blah. But like initially, it's better to not, because then you don't have to like steer such a large ship. It can be flexible, but it takes a lot of self-trust and a lot of courage to lead like that.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. And I know that like my own personal work and my work as a therapist has definitely helped me to feel really comfortable in this space, because I know and I trust I can hold this container, and I can be like, you can tell me that I'm being imperfect in various ways. Like, absolutely. I want to know that, because this container is all about you, the program member, right? Having an experience where they feel like their needs are being met and they're feeling seen and heard. And so that goes both ways.
I love that. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Shifting gears a little bit, because I'm trying to think like what people would ask if they were like listening in on to our conversation. Is something else you did that is amazing is you added a one-on-one coaching offer in addition to the therapy work. And I get so many questions from women about the courage to do that. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yes. That almost like I knew that would be in place, but kind of with the influx of members in my Instagram community, I got a lot of requests for it and for people to receive support outside of the states that I'm licensed in. And so I had to kind of, quickly, shift gears and really solidify for myself what is the difference between my one-to-one coaching offer and my therapy practice. And so I kind of sat down, really teased through that. You supported me in getting the right contract to separate. And that was really a process of like, okay, having to really tease apart the two businesses and put the systems in place that were like sort of there, but not fully officially there. So once those were in place, then I felt really, really excited to welcome in. Right now I have four one-to-one clients, coaching clients. And it's been like a really fun, refreshing addition to the work, because I get to show up to it like a little bit differently than I do in my therapy work. I have a little bit more permission to bring a little bit more of myself into the space, which if you know therapy, the therapist does not bring in a whole lot of themselves into the space. But I do it in a way, of course, that has the needs and the best interests of my client in mind. But it's been fun to kind of explore the difference and to know that like I am still me in either space. And I still have the same expertise, the same knowledge, the same, all of that. But it's just structured a little bit differently. And so it's been fun. I'm really enjoying it.
I love that you gave yourself permission to create that revenue stream. I think like as women, like we deserve to be able to make money in multiple ways, right? Whether it's through a coaching stream, whether it's through a therapy stream, whether it's through a done for you offer. And I think sometimes we feel guilt. Like I've had clients before that are done for you creators and then be like, I think I want to coach. Oh, but I can't do that. Right. Or a coach. And then it's so interesting how we do this. And I think especially therapists, because we're trained rightfully so to not be damaging and to be legal and ethical, which is important. But I think sometimes for heart-centered therapists, we almost overly go there and forget that, yeah, but it's still legal for us to have a candle business or to have like, we can still have other revenue streams and options for different eras of our life and business.
Totally.
What mindset most helped you break out of give yourself permission to create, whether it's the group coaching or the one-on-one coaching stuff outside of therapy?
Yeah, it has taken a lot of teasing out like the critical voice that comes out that says like, this is unethical if you're a therapist, building this kind of business. And of course it feels very supportive at this time that actually a lot of therapists are doing this. Like it is a new wave of therapists really adding in this element, because what I know that I don't have to explain or have an apology for is that like I get to use this expertise to help more people. Like that is the mindset that like has really like boosted me into this work, because like I have this expertise, whether I'm working with clients inside this state or not. And so it just makes me so happy and excited to be able to use it, like to use this knowledge to teach. And I think when I entered the Sell with Heart, I knew that I like the role of teacher. Like that is a role that really excites me, in like teaching these concepts and how to apply them to your own life. And like that is precisely like that is what I'm doing, and it's really really exciting. And I know that it's having an impact, and it's really been awesome to hear that, to hear how it's already impacted the clients that I'm working with.
When you were saying that, like, I just got this like energy of like freedom, right? And I just wish I could gift that to all therapists or any professional, right?
Sure.
That feels boxed in. And just this reminder that like, like I remember telling when I was still doing therapy, I was like, so nervous. And my coach was like, do you have a track record of being unethical? Like, what are you I'm like, no, like I literally am the opposite. She was like, then why are you so paranoid and so unself-trusting that you're going to like go out there and do all this damage when you've literally never done that before. Right. And I just love this reminder of like, if you can help more people, go help them.
Great. Yeah, absolutely. It's awesome. It's so exciting. And it's so freeing. Absolutely. I feel so much more at ease, especially in being seen too, like in showing up and being visible, even though I was already visible, like with this higher visibility, like I feel much more calm and confident in it, having done this work myself and feeling calm and confident to show up in this way.
Let's talk to that for a second, and then I'll let you go too. Is like, I hear a lot of women say like, I'm nervous when I grow when I scale my business, when I have a group program, when my Instagram following grows, like that I will be less calm, right? That I will like, maybe talk a little bit about why you feel like scaling, growing, having more income, having more resources, having more clients, having a bigger Instagram following. In what ways does that, I think people think like, oh my God, my life is going to be ruined when I'm successful. I guess in what ways has your life not been ruined?
It's a great question. It's such a good one. Initially when the following grew, there was a lot of my own stuff that kind of got kicked up that like luckily, right, I have my own therapist, my own support to really like, okay, process through like, what is this? What is this? And you know what? Like, I needed to release that. Like, that had to come up and be released in order for me to continue to expand and grow. And so, in that way, like, what initially felt like really overwhelming and like actually was the release that needed to happen. Like, I got to this point that had to go. In order to open up and to expand and to bring in more. And it's been really, I mean, it's so cool. Like, and as therapist, I'm saying this before I say this, I have permission to talk about right business and income. And it's been very cool to see this additional income come in. And because I remember before the program launched, I was like, it's going to be really cool to like finally see like a dollar come through this side of my business. Because I had established my coaching side of my business maybe like a few years ago before I got pregnant. But like had never released anything on this side. And I knew I'm like, that's going to be really cool. And then to see this bank account that I've had set up for years, but had never had a dollar come through it, grow, it's been like really cool. So like I'll show my husband like, wow, look at this. Like in 1 month, look what has come in. And you know, it has been just really, really cool to see. And also like just has helped me trust myself and trust my ability to grow, my ability to invest in support. Right before jumping on this call, right, I told you I was speaking to a VA that I'm really excited to work with, and that I'm feeling really calm and confident in investing in that way, and not like, oh no, like there's not enough. Like this, I know that this is where this extra income needs to go, is to help me get the support that I need to make eventually, right, make the workload less and easier while helping more people.
Yeah, I love that so much, right? What I heard you say is just the message of self-trust, that trusting your future successful self, that you'll hire the support, that you'll hire the therapist to do the up-leveling so you can make capacity for more happiness and success, right? That you're not going to be successful alone, right? You'll be successful and have the ability to be supported.
Right. Absolutely.
I love that. Okay, so good. In the last few months, maybe share what was your highlight and or favorite thing about the mastermind, or tangible or intangible. Like what was the part that you feel like meant the most to you?
I will say, like, I remember applying for Sell with Heart and like feeling like, do I want to do this? But I remember sitting in my living room thinking like, you know what, something is telling me like, like things will change if I join this. And so I'm so glad that I did, because clearly, right, I knew it, like that this was going to be this supportive container that I needed to like usher me through all the like confusion and like the uncertainty of like, what do I want? I remember like truly going in, like my goal was like, I just want to create, like, I want to create my offerings and create my program, and like, boom, here they are. It's so cool that all happened over the course of this. I love your organization, right? Like trusting you that like Anna has a worksheet for everything. I'm probably not the first person to say this, but like truly, like if you need like a format for something, like it's so awesome to trust you that like I could go to you and you have it, like you've got me, like anything that you need to build, like Anna has, which is just, it was exactly what I needed at this point in time. And so trusting you helped me, right, to trust myself that like I could tackle whatever comes this way. And then thirdly, the group of women was just the best and so great, and have developed, you know, such great friendships over the course of this program, and online and in person. And it's just been just such a wonderful space to be a part of in this season. So I'm just so grateful. So grateful for it.
So it's such a joy to have you. Okay, if people are listening to this and they're like, oh my goodness, Megan seems like the most lovely human, tell them how to connect with you and what they can expect when connecting with you.
Absolutely. So you can follow my Instagram, which is Connect with Megan. That is my handle, MEGAN. And on that page, you can expect a lot of education and support around navigating childhood trauma, your own healing journey to find a greater sense of inner calm, grounding, comfort, both within yourself and in your relationships. Like that is kind of my bread and butter, and I love supporting women in being able to find that for themselves. And so on my page, you can find I have three freebies that you can download on how to have hard conversations, inner child healing prompts, and a mindful morning journal that I think like you would love that, Anna, actually.
I was like, I should go.
You already have our beautiful, right? Like the daily check-in, but it's very similar. And then you can find my website there and whatever offerings are there at the time that you're listening.
I definitely go over to Megan's Instagram and follow her. What I love about your Instagram too is it's just such a beautiful, I feel like you carry this unique energy of teacher and being willing to tell the truth and be direct and to be honest and to say the hard thing. But you'd never know that you were doing that because you just have the most genuine, loving, kind energy, right? And so I feel like your Instagram is just such a reflection of your work. And so I think it's just such a great entry point for people.
Oh, thank you so much, Anna. That means so much for you to say.
Yes. Okay. If you listen to this interview and have any aha moments or takeaways, we would love to hear it. Feel free to tag us, whatever you'd like to do. And thank you so much, Megan, for being here.
So happy to be here.
Thanks for hanging out today. Please hit that subscribe button so you can make sure to stay updated anytime a new episode drops. And I would love for you to join me in my free Facebook community. It's called The Heart-Centered Entrepreneur. We discuss the podcast episodes. I regularly go live and do free trainings. And you may even meet your newest biz bestie. So you can join at heartcenteredcommunity.com. It's absolutely free, and I cannot wait to see you in there.